Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome back.
What's up, Zachary High?
I'm Kelvin Ridgely.
And I'm Tiana Portery.
And this is WZHS.
On October 5th, Zachary High and the gym had a blood drive. This allowed many students to donate blood to people in need who suffer from sickle cell anemia, severe blood loss, and more.
Decided to give blood because there's a national blood shortage.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, half of it was I wanted to skip class.
You what?
But you know, it's like a good thing to do and it like actually helps people, so why not?
Okay, is this your first time ever doing this?
It is my first time.
No, I did in April.
So, is this like a scary process for you?
No, I'm just dramatic and an anxious person, but I'm good. It doesn't even hurt that bad. Like, it's very quick, and I recommend everyone should do it if they can.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you scared?
Not really.
So, you're not scared of needles?
No, needles don't really get to me.
That's my worst fear.
Really?
Yes.
That's just is what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I just wanna rock. Body out of ya. Shorty got that body out of ya. Hit it once, no time. Side up, you gon' kill my vibe. Stand on my money, don't.
Last week, Hurricane Ian struck Florida.
It was a devastating and tragic event. Here's Cameron McCallan with more information and some additional news.
What's up, Zachary High? I'm McCallan Washington.
I'm Cameron Houston.
And this is Globetrotter, where we travel around the world and explore news. This week, we will first land in the U.S., where on Wednesday, September 28th, a catastrophic hurricane, Hurricane Ian, left a trail of severe inland flooding, wind damage, and death as it swept through Florida. Hurricane Ian flooded streets, roads, houses, and left many people stranded and of need of help. It also uprooted trees, which caused major damage to houses and power lines. It demolished homes, leaving many people homeless, and ripped neighborhoods and cities to shreds. As of Friday, September 30th, nearly 2 million people were left without power. Continuing in the U.S., after 5 long years without a performance, millions are thrilled to hear that singer-songwriter Rihanna will be performing the halftime show for the 2023 Super Bowl. Recently, she posted on social media a picture of her holding a football, and many news sources stated that she would be performing. The 2023 Super Bowl will be held on February 12th at the State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Next in the world, we land in Indonesia, where on Sunday, October 2nd, at an Indonesian soccer game between Arema FC and Persebaya Surabaya, Indonesia's 2 biggest soccer teams, chaos and violence caused hundreds to be injured, and at least 125 people are dead after Arema FC was defeated 3-2 by Persebaya Surabaya. This caused the losing team to be upset and invade the pitch. Police fired tear gas, which caused a fan crush, which led up to cases of suffocation. Lastly, we landed in Afghanistan, where on Friday, September 30th, a terrible tragedy occurred where a suicide bomber struck an education center in the Afghan capital, where students were taking practice entry exams, leaving 19 people dead and 27 injured. Education centers near the area will now have additional security when they have events with a lot of people, like exam preparation days. Well, that's all for this week's Globetrot. See you next week to explore more news around the world.
Zachary has an amazing collection of teachers
teachers.
To celebrate World Teacher Day, on Wednesday we've asked a couple of our teachers who their favorite teachers were.
Favorite teacher would have to be one of my former college instructors, Dr. Joanne Marks at Southern University. And I would have to say she is one of my favorite, actually the favorite college professor, because she was the hardest course, she taught the hardest course I ever took. It was impossible to make an A in her class. There was no way to be perfect with her. And she was always so gentle. She could give you back a paper with an F, but she would make you feel good while giving you that paper with an F on it. How is that even possible? But nonetheless, I ended up making an A in the course, but it was not without a lot of work, and I learned so much from her. How to teach, how to be diligent in going over things over and over and over, if need be, for students to get it, and to be patient, which she had much patience with us.
My favorite teacher would have been Miss Raz or Miss Raziano. She was my physics teacher here at Zachary High School, and she made learning fun, she made it interactive, and that's what I tried to do in my classes.
Well, when I think back, there are probably two teachers I think of the most. I had one teacher, Mr. Ogeron. He was my biology teacher, and I guess he inspired me in that he was just his grasp of the subject matter. You know, somebody that actually knew it well, knew science, it was inspiring me. And he was good, you know, he was a good teacher, and he taught us a lot. But just seeing this individual that really knew material and knew it well and understood the science behind it was something I really wanted to aspire to. And then another teacher I had, Mr. Nettles, I liked him a lot because he was a fun class. You know, we went in there and he made the educational experience enjoyable. I enjoyed going to his class. I enjoyed learning about world geography. And so I guess those two would probably be the two teachers that inspired me the most.
Well, I'm going to say it was Mrs. Erin Fink, who used to teach here, and she taught me 11th grade, and it was American history. And I'm going to say she was one of my favorite teachers because she brought history alive. Like, besides, it was the earliest days of like YouTube and things like that, but she always found clips. We always like attached our notes to songs. It just made it really fun to where our class had an atmosphere of like learning history the fun way. And so I actually kind of took that years later into my college life because besides photography, I ended up minoring in art history. And actually years later, I ended up teaching at a private school where I actually taught American history and world geography and world history. So it was a moment or like an ode to her that I could bring that same energy into my history classes, and then, you know, everybody just enjoyed learning. And that's always fun for students to enjoy learning. So she made us enjoy learning, so I appreciate her for that.
I've had some great teachers throughout the years. I remember a lot of really great science teachers. One of the reasons why I became a science teacher. We had a fantastic physics teacher, and it was project after project, and it was figuring out and solving problems. That's what I love doing with science. And he had his class structured in a way to where we would make mistakes, but then we would have to explain them, and then do calculations on, you know, how we made the mistake. And we learned a lot from that. It wasn't just, you know, memorization and you know, reading from a book. I don't even remember if we had a textbook, but teachers like that really helped inspire me to become a better teacher.
When I was in high school, I had Miss Sarah, who is now my coworker. She taught me art. Miss Blanchard, she was my English 4 teacher. Miss Harvey, she taught me my freshman year. Miss Bynum, she was my FBLA teacher. So, and Mr. Thompson, he taught me world history. So yeah, it's just crazy, you know, being on the other side of stuff now, having co-workers for teachers that, you know, used to teach me, you know. I think the biggest thing for me was them adapting to my personality, allowing me to be me, and all while still challenging me to grow and mature as a young man, and you know, seeing my talents flourish and supporting me in extracurriculars and everything, and seeing me develop into, a full student.
Probably Miss Redmond, because she brings in a lot of high energy, and you can tell that she loves doing what she does, and she always makes the class fun and it's never boring.
So my favorite teacher probably is Mr. Norwood, because he puts up with a lot of our craziness, like a lot of our craziness. We even made an entire group in his class called the CCC, and he just lets us do our own thing. He never gets in our way. He never leaves anyone behind, no matter how slow we are or how off track we can be. And he always makes sure that everyone feels included in everything.
So my favorite teacher is Mr. Norwood, definitely because he's very chill and he lets us do a lot of stuff in class, like we just declared a war. It was awesome. Very fun, and great time. I love him.
It's Miss Ernest because her class is really fun and I love to cook. She makes cooking really fun.
My favorite teacher is Miss Witcher. She's the straight play theater teacher, and this year we're doing Radium Girls, and when we've been reading the script, she's just walked us through it, made sure we know and understand what the characters are feeling and their character developments, and she's just really sweet, and she's just really fun to talk to, and she also gives us candy whenever we do stuff good, so yeah, she's an amazing teacher.
My favorite teacher would have to be Miss Knockin, because she is so kind and loving, and even though sometimes it may seem like tough love, she genuinely does care about her students, and even though Spanish is such a hard subject to teach and stuff, she is so passionate in her work and everything she does.
My favorite teacher would have to be Miss Broussard. She is, I don't know, she is the kindest teacher I feel like I've ever had. She is great at encouraging her students to participate even if they don't know exactly what the answer is. She just makes a very healthy learning environment for all of her students, and I love her very much.
Yes, I actually had several favorite teachers, but if I had to pick one, it was my 7th grade teacher, Miss Daniels, taught me English, but she was my favorite because she was real fine.
Well, Broncos, that's a wrap on this week's broadcast.
See you next week on
WZHS.
WZHS.